Hey everybody, thank you for coming. And just so you know, I just mentioned this is being recorded for people who wanted to come but couldn't do so to be on the website for virtual open house purposes. But my name is Matt Parker. I'm taking my admissions hat off right now. I'm putting my athletics hat on. I work in admissions, but also I am the boys lacrosse coach. I've been here for 7 years, and we've got some great photos of Dublin athletes here too, but I also advise students. I'm an advisor to 4 or 5 students every year, so I work closely with them on their athletic journey as well. So since it's such a beautiful day outside, and we have so many programs, I don't want to monopolize your time in here, so I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes, but basically I'm going to talk to you about the what, the why, and the who, in that order, of Dublin School athletics. So hopefully you'll get a better understanding of what we do here. Luna, would you shut that door for me? Excellent. Thank you so much. So we'll start with the what. Common questions, ones that I've answered up in the gym before already. What sports do we offer? We offer in the fall soccer, sailing, mountain biking, cross country, sculling, and dance. In the winter, we offer basketball, Nordic skiing, alpine skiing, snowboarding, and robotics. And in the spring, we offer lacrosse, ultimate, crew, tennis, and outdoor exploration. So we like to think for our student body size, we've got a lot of really great opportunities for students to try. What leagues do we play in? We play in 3 different leagues: the Southeast New England League, the SENE. We play in the River Valley Athletic League, which is called the RVAL, and we play in the Lakes Region League as well. And I've got a full list of the different ways that our teams participate in these leagues. I don't want to take the time to go through it right now, but I'd be happy to follow up with more information on that later. Some recent successes that I'd like to highlight. We're coming out of a COVID year where there wasn't a whole lot of competition, but this fall sports have been, come back in a big way, and we've got some recent successes to celebrate. Our boys and girls soccer were the RVAL champions. Boys cross country was the RVAL champions. Girls cross country was the RVAL runner-up. Sailing has had 2 regattas and has won them both. And then to think back to 2019 before COVID, our Nordic, we've got a pretty great Nordic program here, and our boys and girls teams both won NEPSAC championships that year, which is a pretty big deal. So that's the what of Dublin School athletics. Now I'm going to talk about the why. Okay, why do we have an athletics program at Dublin School? And I want to start by reading a couple of things straight from the coach's handbook, and they're a little dry, but they're important, and I'll tell you why. First thing is that we have sports at Dublin School to emphasize the development of lifelong learning, values and skills through hard work, sportsmanship, ethical conduct, and fair play. Athletics in Dublin are a positive, powerful, productive, 3 Ps, I guess, force for our school community, and most importantly, the student athlete. So that's all pretty big picture stuff, and that's pretty common, right? We're doing this for a purpose, but the thing that I really want to hone in on is how it's done for the student athlete. So what I mean by that is, as a coach, my primary focus isn't adding championships to the banners in the gym, or I'm not worried about alumni influence or outside forces on the program. I'm worried about the experience of each and every current student athlete that I have on the team, and I think I speak for all of our coaches when I say that. Our goal as coaches at Dublin is to make every athlete's experience inspiring and meaningful. So we really think on a person-by-person basis, is this kid having an inspiring and meaningful experience? And that's what kind of guides us as coaches. We have some tools in place to help with that. One is a community-wide expectation of trying new things, and I've talked to some people up in the gym already today about how that's really a thing that we care about, is pushing people to try new things. And I'm going to show you some examples of some students who have done that, in my time here at Dublin that I'd like to highlight. And another thing is the fact that we don't have JV teams at Dublin. We have varsity teams, and every student receives varsity level coaching. The culture of trying new things, I mean, people could probably think why that's important, but I can also give you some of my thoughts on that. In some seasons, we have 3 seasons, fall, winter, spring. In some seasons, an athlete is going to know what it's like to be a rookie, or to be someone who's less experienced, someone who's on the newer end of the sort of athletic spectrum for that specific sport. In other seasons, they get to be the experienced one. Maybe that's the sport. In the winter, maybe they've been a basketball player their whole life, and they get to share that with other students on the team or other athletes on the team. So that gives them a really special and well-rounded athletic experience where they get to be both the newcomer and the experienced player in many situations. So I think that presents a really great opportunity for growth. Also, on the subject of not having JV teams, all athletes participate in varsity level programs. Coming to Dublin, students don't have to worry about getting cut from a team, right? That would be a big barrier to trying something new. Like, well, you try something new and you're not good at it the first 2 weeks, so you get cut. Not at Dublin. At Dublin, you've got time to develop because we're not going to cut you from the team. Also, you're going to receive, like I said, varsity level coaching, and you're going to be, taught by a coaching staff who knows the sport deeply and wants to share their passion for that sport with you. And the last thing that I want to say about sort of the why section of this presentation pertains to athletes who have dreams of playing in college. Part of our reason for having an athletics program in Dublin is to support higher level athletes who plan to compete at the NCAA level. Over my 7 years here, we have had a good group of athletes go to play in college. In some cases, they've gone on to become team captains. I just saw recently Beth Imhoff, who played here a few years ago, is now the captain of her Oberlin lacrosse team, which I was very excited to see. So we have kids who go on to become athletes, in some cases captains and standout players. And I've noted that there's a range of athletes in Dublin, but we don't forget about our responsibility to push each individual athlete, even if they come in at a high level already. Just to give you an example of some schools that we've sent athletes to recently, we've sent athletes to Williams, Middlebury, St. Lawrence, Bowdoin, Methodist, Cornell, Oberlin, and the University of Virginia. So those are some schools where we place athletes. And I just wanted to note that that's a really important piece of this puzzle too, is really catering to and caring about experienced athletes as well as newcomers. So I want to talk about the who. Got a few minutes left, I think. So the who is maybe my favorite part. Some good pictures here. We've got a great photographer too, as you guys can tell. All right, Jesse here. Yeah, Jesse's here, I guess. So one of the who's, actually two of our who's are here right now, just so happens to be. So this is Jesse Choate. Jesse's sitting in the back. Jesse, I'm going to tell your story if that's okay. Jesse came to Dublin from Connecticut as a 10th grader. He was a ski racer. He's been a ski racer for a long time. He's very comfortable as an alpine ski racer. He immediately, worked closely with our coach, Sandy Ennegas, on our alpine team, and that's sort of his comfort zone. But last year, his junior year, he stepped out of that comfort zone in a pretty big way and joined the boys lacrosse team. It was his first time playing, and the thing that struck me most about Jesse's year playing lacrosse last year, and what I expect will be another great season coming up this year, is that he was supported and loved by his teammates as they sort of took his potential seriously, even though he was a new player. Jesse, I don't know if you remember, but there was one practice where you looked at me, because I was having you do all these things, You were like, Coach, this is my first year. Like, don't use under his helmet looking at me like, Coach, don't forget this is my first year. And what that showed was he was sort of like, we were pushing him, but it's because myself and his teammates believed that he could perform in those spots, even though it was his first year playing. So that was, Jesse, I think that was a great moment of growth for you. It was a memorable one for me, and you definitely stepped up to the challenge and didn't, shy away from that moment. So I was proud of you for that. And of course, Jesse didn't know I was going to say that today. But another person, Rahila, got a couple pictures of Rahila. She came to Dublin as a 9th grader from Afghanistan. Back home in Afghanistan, she started a soccer program. Sports are not, I talked to her a little bit about this. She actually wrote this in her application. I remember when she was applying to Dublin. Sports are not really part of the school curriculum in where she's from in Afghanistan. And also, girls and women, what she shared with me, are sort of not encouraged to play sports. And so she was really brave, really courageous, and helped start a soccer program for girls in her city. And she came to Dublin and continued that love of soccer, which is incredible in itself. But she also tried Nordic skiing. And this is Rahila, Nordic skiing, and she said no one Nordic skis in Afghanistan, as you would probably guess. But she, I talked to her about it. She's like, yeah, nobody does that. So this was way out of her comfort zone, but like I said, she's a courageous person, and she was, in a place in Dublin where she was willing to literally fall on her face in the snow in order to try something new. So that was really part of, what we encourage, and I'm really proud of Rahila for that. And last is another person that's here in the back, Mia. No doubt draining a 3 in this photo. So Mia Fantalis, came to Dublin. Mia, did you come as a 9th grader?
Yeah.
Yeah, a repeat 9, right? Yeah, as a 9th grader. So she's been here for 4 years. She's a senior now. Mia is an example of someone who is really passionate about a sport even before she comes here, and really gets to continue taking that sport really seriously and working towards the goal of playing in college, while also finding, accepting our sort of Dublin challenge to her of playing other sports too. So Mia is a 3-season varsity athlete. She plays soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. And she has continued a very serious basketball career while also participating and being a great leader and player in those other sports as well. So I kind of wanted to shout her out for that. But anyways, I think that's my 10 minutes. I hope y'all enjoyed hearing a little bit about the Dublin Athletics program and seeing some pictures of our kids at work on the fields and courts and slopes. I've been in the gym already answering personal questions, and we don't really have time for Q&A right now, but I'll be up in the gym again right after this to answer questions if anybody else has them. Thank you.